Hey there. Episode 2 today. What is it? I forgot the date. August 25th. Now, last night I watched a whole hour of the streaming of Doug Ford's speech here. Sorry, I'm buzzed right now. I'll be honest with you. I've had a beer and I've had a toke. I'm sorry. I'm ashamed of myself, but it's happy hour and I haven't done this in a while. It's a real beer this time. Cheers to all my fellow hardworking Canadians out there. I've been working hard, and I feel like I deserve it. Spoken like a true drinker. So anyways, I laughed my ass off at this video last night, and for all the wrong reasons. Like, Doug Ford's a freaking goof. But I've said it before, I have a love-hate relationship. I could listen to this man all day long. I really could. Because he makes me laugh. I mean, I would love to sit down and drink with this man. I really would. I don't always like the things that he does for this province. It's always, he does something good, he does something wrong. He does something good, he does something wrong. And, you know, he's not perfect. He's kissing up to Carney and the Liberals, and he's supposed to be conservative. And you can say all kinds of things about this man. But I watched that thing last night, and I was in hysterics. And I actually posted it on Facebook, and I had to take it off because, it was just it was funny, like I said, for all the wrong reasons. Like, all the stuff that he said, it's fine for me if I'm sitting here with my buddies and we're having drinks and we're being assholes and we're just talking, bullshitting around. That's fine. And it would be fine if I was doing it with him and we were sitting somewhere and we were having a drink, whether he drinks or not, whatever. I don't know. And yeah, he was bullshitting and saying stuff, that's guy stuff. I get it. But he does this in front of all the media, in front of all the world. And good Lord, I don't even know what to say, because there's just, I like him better than Trump. I'll say that. He's more entertaining than Trump. But he's just, there's so many words, but he's just a big goof. Oh, he can kiss my ass, and there's a lot of real estate on my ass, so there's lots of room for him to kiss. I'm not playing the whole thing. I could do a whole show. I almost did it last night. I was going to do a whole show just breaking down everything he said. And maybe I'll still do that, but it's just unreal. Let's play a bit of it.
Folks, remember, we power 1.5 million homes and businesses. What I find ironic about this is we're actually giving electricity to companies to make products to compete against us. That needs to stop, and we're going to address that. As this escalates, everything will be on the table. Our critical minerals, we have more than anyone in the entire world. And matter of fact, my minister, Greg Rickford, is making an announcement up in Narrowland First Nations to move the road forward to the Ring of Fire, to get those critical minerals out of the ground. But every single person in this province, in this country, has to play a role. When you go out shopping, look for Made Ontario, Made in Canada, or Made somewhere else in the world. Do your very best. And I know it's easy to say, but do your very best to look at the labels. And I know it's not always possible, but the people, the consumers, play a massive role. Let's put pressure on the Walmarts. Let's put pressure on the Loblaws, the Sobeys, the Metros. I'm naming the big retailers to buy Ontario products from Ontario. That's my recommendation, and I'm confident that everyone will follow suit. And that goes for the 444 municipalities. Make sure your procurement buys Ontario goods. And that goes for other companies too. No matter if it's the meters that they measure electricity and calling out Electra, make sure it's not American, make sure it's Ontario or Canadian, because I keep hearing rumors that we're going to spend hundreds of millions down in the US. That cannot happen. And that's just one company out of many. But
so let's break it down. Like, that totally makes sense to me. Okay, I got no problem with that. It's fine.
We need a Team Canada approach.
Hi, Premier. Rob Ferguson, Toronto Star.
Hi, Rob.
Hi there. Just wondering, since you've talked to the Prime Minister shortly before getting here, what did you talk about the 25% electricity surtax, bringing that back? Did you talk about bringing the Reagan ad, and bringing it back? And if so, what did he say?
Well, I did talk about playing a Team Canada approach, making sure that no matter if it's our electricity that we ship down there, but many other provinces' electricity, and other areas that we can really put pain on the U.S. No matter if it's the oil or if it's potash or if it's uranium, any of those. I am going to have a call with Danielle Smith at the end of the day here, at 4 o'clock roughly, have a discussion and get her opinion on what we need to do to protect Canadian workers. So it has to be a Team Canada approach. Everyone has to be singing off the same song sheet, and there can't be any detractors.
And there's been nothing but. There is really no Team Canada.
Because I know that every single Canadian wants to protect our sovereignty, wants to protect jobs in their communities. So we're going to work collectively together.
Okay, so it sounds like you're not going to freelance any of these moves. You're going to do it in conjunction and with perhaps with the approval of the feds.
But it is on the table, and he agreed.
Okay.
I said that electricity surcharge is going to be on the table. I'll hold off on the ads for now. I don't want to escalate it anymore, but we need to fight back.
Okay, I was just wondering, you sound a little more subdued than you did this morning on the radio when you said Donald Trump could kiss your ass. Did the Prime Minister tell you to ask you to tone it down a bit?
No, he didn't. I'm not going to comment, but he wasn't against that. And I have a lot of real estate on my ass, so he has a lot of room to kiss my ass. So
well done.
I just do. I'm a big dude. What can I say?
Okay, so we stop it there. It's like, okay, that's funny, and I like it. But you can't be saying that as the premier of the engine, one of the main engines of Canada. You just can't. You know, that's fine for, like I said earlier, that's fine for me and my buddies. You know, if we're carrying on, whatever. It gets a laugh. Yeah, it's funny. But you just can't. You just can't.
Premier Sean Jefford, CBC News. I know you haven't had an opportunity to see this, but we were just looking at a very fresh post here from President Trump on Truth Social, taking aim at you personally, taking shots at you, suggesting you should fall in line, and that you're a flunky of the Prime Minister. Do you want to respond to these shots? What would you say to the President?
No, I don't respond to a dictator like President Trump, a bully like President Trump. As I said before, he's the type of guy in school that would take your lunch money one day, take your toque off your head the next day, and then steal your running shoes. But I'm not going to take any advice off a guy that's the king of bankruptcies. And he's actually tariffing his own people, taxing his own people. And I'm going to make sure I communicate through the U.S. media. I'm going to be reaching out to every single governor, every single senator, and every single congressperson. And when it comes to the midterms, I have a message to the Americans. Don't vote in a person that's going to kill your jobs. He ran on creating more jobs. Last time I checked, jobs went down in the U.S. and Ontario created more jobs. He ran on reducing the cost of living. Last time I checked, Foods are more expensive down there. Homes are more expensive. And the reason homes are more expensive because he has a tariff on our lumber, which 33% of all homes that are built in the U.S. use Canadian lumber. So I'm not going to take lessons off President Trump. He's the last guy that I would take any lessons off. And it's about Team Canada. Well, we'll see how this goes, but he wants to put pain on Canadians. We'll leverage every bit of pain we possibly can on Americans. And you know what I feel bad for? I've always said I love the American people. I still stand by that statement because there's a lot of people in the U.S. that are calling me saying, way to go, keep going. You know, your own people, President Trump, don't even like you. And they're going to speak loud and clear when it comes to the midterms. And if I was allowed to, I'd be down there door knocking.
Well, I wasn't going to do the whole episode about him, but I just can't help myself. I just can't. It's just as good the second time around. I laughed more last night, but because I really couldn't believe what I was listening to. Here we go.
Premier, you mentioned a number of times today that tariffs are a tax on Americans. If that principle stands, and I'm sure it does here in Canada as well, how do you impose retaliatory tariffs without impacting Canadian spending here?
That's good point. It is going to hurt. That's the cost of war. We have two choices, folks. We either roll over and he dismantles Canada and he says 51st state. We'll never be the 51st state. We'll do whatever it takes to protect our sovereignty. We're proud Canadians. And I'll tell you one thing, we'll wait it out for 2 years. We'll wait it out for 2 years, even if he lasts 2 years, but we'll wait it out. And hopefully they'll come to their senses when they see the pain he's putting on the American people. And we have to focus on the red states. And folks, I know up here, red is liberal, blue is conservative, it's opposite down there, just to explain to the people. The red states are Republican, blue are Democrat, but the red states, we're going to hit hard.
Hi, Premier. Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Hi, Siobhan.
I just wanted to sort of figure out your thinking about how you thread this needle with the president taking very specific aim at you in deeply personal ways.
Good.
Well, also, why is that good?
Well, good. He can, something, I've been in this game a lot longer than he has. I got skin on me like an alligator. And you think an insult from him hurts me? Well, bring it on, buddy. I'm ready. Bring it on. You know something? I've dealt with guys like you my whole life. And guess what? You all become losers because you're a loser.
Are you?
Okay, so I don't really see how name calling really helps this situation at all. I really don't. I don't get it. Oh boy. But see, these are the clips that they don't show on TV, right? Like, I got the whole feed. He was late showing up and everything. I had to skip through it all. It's like a whole hour. It's interesting. But I got to put it on pause. I'm due to meet Mama Moose. Anywho, I'm back. Moving on. Mario from the north. Mark went to university in America. Mark worked and lived in America. Mark has 90% of investments in America. Mark's kids, this is Mark Kearney we're talking about, by the way. Mark's kids study and live in America. Mark's wife lives in America. Mark hired a Democrat COO. Couldn't find anybody in Canada to do the job. Mark says MAGA. Remember that? Canada strong makes America great again. Mark's MP is door knocking for Democrats. No, I don't know about that one. That's new to me. I can't agree to that one. But anyways, Mark gave 50% of net revenues to America for a bridge we built. Mark lied to us about it. Yep. Mark moved Brookfield headquarters to America. Yep. I've been saying that in a lot of my videos, including the last one. Mark lied about that too. I don't trust Mark. Don't be Mark. And since other memes are going around, here's another one. Mark Carney doesn't vacation in Canada, doesn't invest in Canada, because like we just said, 90% in the US. Kids don't go to school in Canada. Wife doesn't work in Canada. He calls himself a European. Carney doesn't believe in Canada. He doesn't care about Canadians. Well, I'm sure he cares to a point, but I'm sure he cares more about his portfolio. Next, this was also going around. I guess this is in response to Trump wanting to rename Lake Ontario. So just so everybody knows, Lake Ontario was from the Iroquois term meaning Lake of Shining Waters and was named more than 100 years before the United States was founded. It is not named after a province, and it is not a geopolitical weapon. So I'm just sharing all the stuff that goes around, from all sides. And okay, I don't think the guy's gonna rename it, but here we go. I guess if this is true, then this is how Lake Ontario was named. I can't verify or deny or nothing. Moving forward, here's Mario with some Doug Ford stuff. More Doug Ford. This is real heavy on the Doug Ford. Well, he is heavy. Ba-dum-bum.
What I understand is 28 billion across the country. Majority is going to be here in Ontario. That's why we can't roll over. We have to hit back. We have to, rather than be on our back heel, as I said, we have to go forward, take the offense. We are an energy powerhouse, and we could dismantle the U.S. if we wanted to.
Dismantle the U.S.? Are you for real, buddy? I don't think so. Good freaking luck.
If we all work together, no matter if it's the electricity, and I'm not speaking for the other provinces, I'm going to be very clear. The potash, the oil, we're their number one customer in the world. They need to feel the pain rather than us constantly feeling the pain.
Doug Ford said that for Doug Ford and not for anyone else. He did it because his polling is very low. He's become very unpopular in Ontario. There's nothing beneficial about stating what he just stated and antagonizing the US even more. He literally said we could dismantle the US. No, we cannot. We literally cannot. And Doug Ford is single-handedly responsible for the breakdown in the negotiations that existed with Kuzma and the US. And I'm honestly starting to believe that Carney and him have some sort of an understanding where he could play bad cop and Carney can play good cop. Because what is happening right now and the things that Doug Ford is stating, he's overstepping his boundaries. He is not in any position to be making these kind of statements towards the US. And he can say, yes, I'm representing the people of Ontario. But he single-handedly spent nearly $100 million, or had budgeted to spend nearly $100 million to run Ronald Reagan ads in America in key states to change Americans' minds. Donald Trump and the US administration saw that as foreign election interference. That's what broke down the negotiations initially in Kuzma. It was because of him. Remember, he also originally said that he was going to shut off electricity going down to America to over 1 million American citizens in the cold of winter. Donald Trump literally took that as a sign of war. And Doug Ford had to walk back those comments. He is making the relationship significantly worse, and Mark Carney is allowing it. And all Doug Ford is doing is he's saving his polling, and he's also saving Mark Carney, because Mark Carney now has someone he can point to and say, look, it wasn't me, it was this guy over here. But the reality is, they have both failed. Remember, this wasn't just any promise that Mark Carney had made, it was the key election promise. And they'll never forget this article. Carney promised a deal with the US. It's time for him to deliver or move on. I agree.
Very interesting. Well, we'll leave it there, folks. Try and make these episodes as short as possible. So thanks for hanging with me. Let me know your thoughts. Hit like, subscribe, but leave some comments. Tell me what you agree or disagree with. I want to hear all sides of things, because everybody's got an opinion right now. Everybody. Anyways, thanks again. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and God bless.